Let's take a moment to clap as a Rise Heart is not going to get the chance to have Diabolsis. Make sure you guys smash the love and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Man, oh man, these Master Duel ban lists are a ride. And I always love taking a look at these and just seeing what's going on here. But this is a pretty good quality of life update here. So it appears that Kelbeck is getting cratered into the ground. If you haven't been keeping up, I mean, Tier Elements is going to be a problem no matter how you look at things, no matter how much you want to spin it around, no matter how much you want to look at it. One more hit to the Ishizu package, blowing it up. Very much wanted by a lot of the community. I'm surprised that the TCG is the only one that has not cratered Kelbeck yet. But to be fair, the deck is so subpar in the TCG that it's actually crazy. And Diabolsis, the Mind Hacker, going away as well. Keep in mind that Rise Heart has not been released yet into Master Duel. So everybody is kind of looking around right now, and you're looking at Diabolsis and you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I would not be a huge fan of Master Duel if, well, I'm already not a huge fan of Master Duel, but if, you know, you've already got Diabolsis the Mind Hacker running around ripping away extra deck options from your opponent, especially with a Rise Heart in the Suck Vacuum 5000 out here, having Diabolsis with that additional, you know, swinging off the top of your opponent's deck, yeah, I get where that's a problem. Well, I mean, we've seen it in the TCG, you know, in terms of the hard version of the game as well, and nobody, and I mean nobody, enjoys playing against this version of the deck. All right, it is one of the most disgusting things that you can actually do. So kudos to Diabolsis actually getting cleaned up on this list. Honestly, I think both of these bans are pretty much warranted, honestly. More so, you know, Kelbeck just getting created because they want to leave Kit Kalos alone for some reason in Master Duel, so you gotta try and be different, right? To be limited, hey, it's Nimble Beaver. I didn't actually think that we would see Nimble Beaver get put down to 1. But the biggest thing with this is, I mean, it's just more and more sprite interactions out here, man. That's all it is, because on normal summon, you can special summon a level 3 lower Nimble monster from your deck. I mean, we've seen the Nimble Beaver combo. It's pretty good, but because, you know, Master Duel's back so far in the past right now with, you know, their releases, the sprite package and the little stuff that kind of comes along with it can be a little bit devastating. So having Beaver go to 1, it's not much of a real loss here, to be honest with you. I think that this is honestly a pretty good little cleanup, in my opinion. And they're losing Haveness to 1. All right, that means that Haveness has been put to 1 in all 3 formats, which is just hilarious, by the way. Huh, yeah, who would have guessed? You know, the ability to turn 0 when your opponent activates a monster effect to a quick effect special summon in mill 3. Yeah, who would have thought that having that on a card to play the game during your opponent's turn? I don't know if Konami has fundamentally realized this yet, but having cards that play the game on the opponent's turn on turn 1 of the game, or you know you haven't taken a turn yet, so turn 0 for you, technically those effects are absurdly busted. I think after time they're going to realize that, hey, you know, we need to stop making some of these gosh darn effects. Alright, so Haveness going to 1, not all that surprised. Man, Tier took 2 arrows to the knee this list, losing the Kelbeck and the Haveness, but it's okay. Once again, I mean, Kit Kalos is still at 1, right? Like, nothing could possibly go wrong by leaving Kit Kalos alone. Interesting. So what are we getting back here? What actually, Luster Pendulum moving to 3. How far away are we from, like, the actual good support for this? Like, at this point in time, like, we gotta ask ourselves, you know, how relevant, when does the Luster Pendulum good stuff, when do we get the excitement for this? You know, I don't know. Draco Slayers could already be in the game for all I know, but you know what, that's fine. Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Let's call this what this is at this point in time. Rongo Reminiad has been a big old problem since it came out, and it's all mainly because of Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Well, now that you've taken care of Rongo Bongo, in what world do we have to leave Bamboozling Gossip Shadow locked up in jail? You know what I mean? This is something that probably could have came back a while ago. And I don't know, man. I feel like Konami gets very scared after a little while. They're like, oh, you know, we're not gonna immediately change this. We'll give you a little bit of gradual time to adjust. You know, we took care of the threat, and then it's usually on the next passive list that they tend to want to clean these things up. And then Animancipator Analyzer coming back to 2 here as well. Honestly, the fact that they even... I think the Analyzer hit was during that really weird time where they didn't want to release a Master Duel ban list, and they were like, oh crap, you know, like, it was during the slow time where so many things were just all over the place, and they needed to do something, but it wasn't like a real ban list. It was we're going to hit the consistency because, you know, we already know how far back the game is at this point in time in terms of, you know, power creep. So, overall kind of thoughts on this list. Full power Kashtira is coming, alright? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The Rise Heart's going to piss a lot of people off when it does land down in Master Duel. Diabolsis the Mind Hacker is a hit that needs to happen. Alright, and I can already tell you, the minute, whenever that card comes out, and they're pretty much prefacing it here, if we're cleaning that up now, you can bet your butt that October going to be a very unfun time for Master Duel. I mean, playing through Tier Elements, Format Purgatory, playing through Kashtira, playing through Sprite. Master Duel's had a lot of terrible formats to go through because we've had to live them in the TCG. Alright, that's the biggest thing. That's the one advantage to TCG versus Master Duel right now is you can at least see, you know, what's coming down the pipeline here and what's to come. You know, while the TCG's kind of fixed itself at this point in time, except for, you know, like King Calamity Turbo and things like that, you know, things are going a little bit better than that. But overall, I think this list is acceptable. There's not a lot of huge crazy things really coming on, or what feels like they're going on. More hits to tier. I mean, this format still has Verti Anaconda legal with no Dark Dragoon, and the last time I peeked into some tournament results, Verti Anaconda wasn't seeing any play. So they're trying these different ideas by trying to make things still viable. And if I recall correctly, Cat Gallos is one of those that they're trying to have still be legal and trying to dance around it. But, you know, once again, the Ishizu package over here just continues to prove to us how crazy in terms of card design that they actually were. Those are 2030 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.